What in the world is the possible next step for us to take here? I got no idea. I think there's like actually there's like 4 routes I think we can go. I guess quickly to name them. I think one, we got to get Suzuha on our side. She clearly knows some stuff from the future and things that I guess normal people probably shouldn't. So I feel as though she'll be a good person to kind of tell, especially if we don't want to get everybody else involved. I feel like to bring her into it might be the moves. Two, I guess we could just find Moika and attack her. I don't know. Get to her before they get to us, right? I don't think that's as likely though. My third guess would be we have to use some form of connecting the D-mails and the time leap, whether we use like the D-mail and change lines, and then after we change lines we use a time leap and we have to like we do things to kind of mess around with it so things change and act differently per line that we're in. But realistically we could also just do something where instead of going back like 3 hours or whatever we've been doing, we can try and test the limits and see how far we can, whether it's like a day or two, and really then start setting things up or putting things into plan. I think that'll give us some wiggle room here and things that we can work with. So I think that could also be a route that we go. Lastly would just be my dream of Okabe just telling everybody what's going on and working together with all of them. Now I get it, he doesn't want to bring people more involved into this thing, you know, something that he's kind of caused and really set up here. But at the end of the day, if they're already going to die and be involved and you're going to have to go back and change things regardless, maybe you should kind of get them involved because it's not going to harm them any more than it already seems to have, right? Or the inevitable future that's kind of coming up here. So maybe it'll be smart enough for you to kind of do that. And it's a lot easier usually when you have a group of people and you can kind of just spill everything that you have and allow them to help you like untangle everything that's going on in your head and really work something out. And I think that's the most logical way to kind of go. But I am excited to see the route that they decide to take instead. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Let's get going though with this let's get going though with episode 14. So he constantly just did it on his own. She just died everywhere. Oh my god. It never worked. So clearly doing it on your own ain't helping. Alright. What's your next route, bro? I presented like 4 ways we could do this in the intro. And all 4 of those stand. They were not just constantly time leap. She turns into the person on the wall, huh? So he's just going back over and over. He's like, oh, fuck, not again. It's not working. It's over, bro. Now you're pull up on. I love how she says the same thing every time she realizes, hello, Moika. Oh. Can't get away, little bro. He got captured this time? He didn't get away? So we have to live this one out? No, never mind. He got back. Everybody get the fuck out of here. The descent to madness has begun. Bro went from mad scientist to just madman. Bro's like got everything down to exact times now. Try and change her, maybe. See, attacking Moika was one of my things. I don't think we would go through with that though. I used the toy gun to get the real one. I had no clue what she's saying. Right, we don't got it though. Yeah. About what CERN's doing. Valid.
3つ
Three, fuck you.
世間に公表しようとした。
So that was the big change, probably. Was do what you want, but the moment you plan to publicly let others know about this, we're not... We can't let that happen. And what is FB? Please ask. Thank you.
FB は私のすべて。
What the fuck?
橋田板の確保。
Yeah, we're going after all of them. Yeah. So you're saving Mayuri doesn't matter. You have to get everyone involved. She knows too much. You might as well, Ben, bro. Been doing the same thing over and over. Just break it. Just remove it from our lives. I don't even know what's on bro's mind. Like, I don't even know what he's thinking anymore. He's not even having internal thoughts at this point. He's on autopilot. Well, you've done this route before. Except you didn't cancel the party this time. Now you're late. Right. We gotta have a talk, buddy.
初めてまともに名前を呼んだな。
Mm.
何があった？いや、何が起きる？
It's not time for games.
あんた、タイムリープしてきたんでしょ。
すべて俺の責任だ。
Mm-hmm.
全部俺の責任
Carry
だ。
the weight of it all, brother.
顔を目にしなければよかった。俺のせいで。よりは。
Voice actor is killing it right about now.
ってバカ。タイムリープマシンは絶対安全とは限らないのよ。場合によってはあんたの存在そのものがなくなる可能性だって。
人間は根源的に時間的存在である。
ハイデガーね。私も今それを言おうとしてた。
お前から教わった言葉だ。
We've had this
なん
conversation.
か気持ち悪いわね。行こう。マユリは大切な仲間よ。私だって助けたい。
You're not alone, brother. There's plenty of people who want to save.
力になりたいの。
Mm-hmm.
私が。無論だ。でしょ。
Together. Come on. Yep. I was so prepared for there just to be like electricity that just goes out of nowhere there and we get teleported somewhere.
完成前まで飛ぶとマシンが完成しなくなる可能性が生まれるから。
Oh, I forgot it wasn't done till recently, so my other thing before doesn't make sense. But that's good. We'll send this back as far as we can, though.
さて、私にさっきの話をして。
Good, good.
未来から来たといえば、多分私は信じる。
なぜわかる？
私のことは私が一番よく知っている。そもそもタイムリープマシンを開発したのは私なのだぜ。
自分のマシンに自信があるということか。
Very.
まあね。
She's almost certain the moment you come back all the time.
そうか。私が今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである。
欲しいのか。マイフォーク。
そう。マイスプーンはもう持ってるし。ってそこに興味を持つな。行くわよ。知らないんだよね。あんたがクリスって。
So do it again and we'll know you're fucking serious, dude. Oh yeah, this happened like 5 episodes ago.
そのリボン可愛いわね。
でしょ？あ、クリスちゃんも着てみる？今度のコミマまだコスあるよ。
コスプレか。
We went back in time just to force her to do it.
これが。
実験はしない。しまった、いきなりすぎたか。
どういうこと？
Well, if it's done, I don't know.
みんな疲れているだろうから。お前がここの常連とはな。
別に常連ってわけじゃん。まゆりに教えてもらったの。
Yeah, now you're right.
5時間後の未来から来た。
は？何そのバカっぽいセリフ。
Mm-hmm.
お前言ってることが全然違うじゃないか。何が私は多分信じるだ。
何勝手に言い出してる。
There's some key things you can be saying, bro. Come on.
得意げに。
バカじゃないの？はいはい。ワルスワルス。
この女殴る。
Come on.
お前が今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである。
Mm.
どうだ。
本当に話したの？5時間後の私が。
マイスプーンはもう持っているからともな。
恨むぞ5時間後の私。
Why would you tell him that?
俺を信じる気になっただろう。
ラウンダーだっけ？その連
Yeah,
中を
we
止
ran
め
into
る
some
というやり
problems.
方？
試した。だが結局マユリなしは止められなかった。
There's a lot of
そ
them.
う。マユリが生まれたという原因がマユリの死という結果を導いているのかもしれない。
You're saying it's
そういう
fate?
ことか。運命論じゃないかそれは。
Yeah.
ええ、だから私は支持しない。原因はこの事件の引き金として説明できるような事柄のはずよ。
引き金。
IBN.
しかし。
See, I'm thinking a little bit further back than I feel like I should. You're playing dangerous here.
何か知ってるの？
あんたの推理は大体合ってる。確かにタイムリープマシンがなければ解決するなんて簡単なものじゃない。世界を救うにはたどり着かなきゃいけないんだ。ダイ
Worldwide
バージェンス
beta.
1% の
Oh
壁を
my
越えて
god.
ベータ世界線に。
Oh no.
ダイバージェンスというのはこの世界線がどこにあるかを示す数値。
Ugh.
その数値を指し示す唯一の手がかりがこのダイバージェンスメーター。
That's what all the numbers we've been passing are.
作ったやつはいい趣味をしている。
そりゃそうだよ。作ったのは岡部倫太郎なんだから。
俺？
今の世界線がどれくらい違うのかを数値化するメーターを作ったんだ。
0.33718 なの？
それが今の世界線。このロープは一見一本だけど実際にはいくつもの細い糸が集まって作られている。この糸が世界線。一つ一つが干渉し合うことはないけど伝っていった先のたどり着く結果は一緒なんだ。
つまり全てがマユリの死という結果に向かってるってことか。
いるアルファ世界線から 1% を超えてベータ世界線へ移動すると。
Yeah, and that's the whole point. We gotta cross that, which is like,
君たちはそっち使ってね。
gotta be a lot.
待ってよ。
Wow. Oh.
ほら行くよ早く。タイムリープで過去改変を行っても移ることはできない。
Okay, so that theory's out. That one's out.
湾戦争が起きた1991年、
Hmm.
2000年問題があった2000年、そしてタイムマシンが開発された2010年。分岐が起きるときに
Oh,
はアルファ世界線からベータ世界線への移動が可能になるんだ。
あなたの正体を教えて。
Mm. You haven't given us what we need to know. This is the machine.
タイムマシン。
Yeah.
私は2036年から来たんだ。
Figured.
そう。
Mm.
私がタイムトラベラー。
So a full-on
ジ
time
ョン・タイタ
travel.
ーだよ。
Ah. Hey, yeah, so some stuff happened and, life things that I kind of ran out of time and then, it's been days now and I still haven't gotten to a discussion and I need to do that. Here we are for that. Memory's probably a bit hazy, so I'm probably going to forget a few things and I apologize for that, but I'm just going to take it scene by scene in the episode and hopefully it helps me remember the things I wanted to talk about and things I wanted to say. All right, cool. All right, let's go. Firstly, we start off very haunting, I guess, to see this and have to watch Okabe over and over or talk about this experience at least. Constantly going through these loops and or these leaps and trying to protect and save Mayuri with absolutely nothing, working, making him believe at this point. Actually, I don't believe he believed it at this point until he talks to Kurisu later, but it could possibly be like a fate thing, and it's almost like it's destined for this to occur, and there's nothing for him to do. Constantly hearing over and over again about her saying, again, my watch stopped. I just did, over and over. And then we get set up by Moika every single time. Next step he takes is immediately to put it all on himself, continues to do that while he does, and he goes and he finds Moika. He sets her up, basically sets up, I don't know if he set up a meeting here or if he just pulled up on her. Regardless, he pulls up on her and he starts questioning her, trying to figure out the reasons why exactly she's doing what he is, and he's completely like clean here. He's answering everything that he can. He's not hiding a single thing, and he's trying to figure this out. She cites 3 reasons as to exactly why she's doing what she is. 1, found out a lot of things that he probably shouldn't have. Makes sense. We know the history, at least here, of CERN and how exactly they operate themselves as an organization and the things that they're trying to do, lying to the public about the way that things are occurring, trying to keep all of this to themselves, actually using it for their own benefits and the people involved, but not really anybody else. Second mistake, you made the time machine. You did the thing. You found out the info you shouldn't, and then you made the thing. There's problems there, Third one, which I believe is the tip of it, the reason why all of this actually kicked off and they actually went out the way. You were just being monitored before with your other things. Your decision to publicly announce this, to basically come out and state what you've worked on and what you found and what has been kind of proven as possible, goes against everything that they've been working towards and everything that they believe in and they actually want, which is a lot of a problem. She continuously talks about FB here and then talks about how it's everything to her. I still have 0 clue what it is. I'm assuming FB is an organization. I'm assuming it is what she works for or works under, and she truly believes that whatever this is and the direction and the rules of their lives, right, the way that they want to take this future and have things kind of shape up, if they're going to reach this utopia in which they essentially want to, probably all of this is kind of necessary. She uses it to justify her reasoning for everything. I mean, killing Mayuri the first time, constantly saying that it's for FB, here again stating that it's everything to her. I believe she even mentioned it when we first met her at the lab, asking us, or I don't even know if she asked us, but she definitely did bring it up. It's a very, very important thing here for her. It's a very important thing also for us to understand where exactly she comes from and what it is. I think looking into and researching possibly what FB could be, asking Suzuha here now what possibly FB could be is the important thing for us to do. I think it's the direction that we need to 100% take. To figure that out, because you can use that as a way to kind of, I guess, stop Moika at a point or get to her or figure out the higher ups that are kind of probably putting her in her position to do what she is, and how exactly all that came about, and then use that as your next steps to really drive things forward, which I think would be important. So I think figuring out FB specifically is something that's important. Unfortunate for us, it's probably like actually doesn't stand for anything. She's probably just like weird and came up with something to call it when it actually isn't, and then it's going to be like impossible for us to end up finding out. Ogabei returns again, and this time he is absolutely losing his mind, and the first thing that goes through his head is, I have to destroy this thing, and essentially tries to go and do that, but he ends up holding off doing it. These moments are so hopeless too, of just him thinking in his head, like, oh, like Rika's telling him what just happened. He's like, no, I know what's gonna happen next, and then I know what happens after that, and then I've relived this many times, and it's like, it's so sucks just to kind of watch. The interaction here with Kurisu is fantastic, shifting all the blame on himself for the way that things are going, for inviting Moika, for having the idea for going public, for being the one who, worked on and created this and brought all these people together, literally taking full responsibility for the things that are happening. And then we finally get the thing I've been asking for 3 episodes now of him, or 2 episodes now of him telling other people. I've been saying he needs to talk to people, and I understand fully why he doesn't. This is why he needed to, though, because look at the progress it feels like we made throughout this episode once he actually opened up and did tell people. Doesn't that seem like it would have made sense to do a bit earlier? Yeah. Regardless, very happy that he actually did here, and he opens up to Kurisu here about what exactly went down over and over. The conversation is really, really good. It allows for Kurisu to see different side of Okabe, something that she actually is familiar with. So it's not like she's never seen this, but different side of him, and there really is nothing to it. It's similar to the moment when he decided that we are going to take things public, in the way that he spoke, the tone in which that he spoke to her, which I guess this version of her doesn't actually know of that one. But she's able to see this more serious and actual real side of him, the side that is panicking and stressing and doesn't have the time to put up them walls and put up the facade here that he constantly has of his mad scientist personality, even noted by her, of when he calls her by her actual name instead of making it like a joke or calling it something else, right? Her being like, I think that's the first time you've ever said that. It's a big thing, and you can tell how serious he is. I think I asked multiple times throughout it, like when he was trying to prove himself later and who he is. I was like, dude, if you just call her by her name, she'll know how serious you are. Like if she's not buying it right now, which I think is a cool way for them to also do that. It feels similar to me, like when you're getting in trouble as like a child, and then like one of your parents just says like your full name instead of just saying like your first name or whatever they actually usually call you, and that's how you know like they're being serious in that moment, and it's not something that they're messing around with. And I think it could work a similar way here, where he actually uses her real name. It definitely means, you know, some serious things. And then she is the absolute best though, and puts on this fake personality of being a mad scientist herself, in the way that she's acting, and it's a way to kind of bring up him in his spirits. And I love the parallel here almost of Mayuri, how she was down completely and kind of felt like giving up and had no hope almost, and Okabe taking on this personality and this version of himself, I believe is more of a result of maybe not who he is or the things he believes, but more of something for her, and to kind of raise her spirits and allow her to have more fun and see this side of him still. And so to have somebody like Kurisu take on that role almost here and do the same exact thing kind of for him to raise his spirits is a really sweet moment. And then we get our handshake to signify we have to go back and we have to do this. Time leap will now continue, and we'll do that, but instead we have to come up with like a key word and things for us to say. We have to make sure that she's fully aware. It has to be something that nobody else really knows, right? Something that can actually prove that he has come forward and that they did have this conversation and they're willing to work together, and everything that he says is kind of true. She talks about her, something about her, what is it, my fork or whatever. Anyways, we do that, and he kind of analyzes the situation fully, which is really, really cool. And then we pull Kurisu aside and we have our conversation about the time leap. I like how she constantly shuts him down over and over, and he's like, crap, I have to like actually come out and tell her. We work together. She gets the entire board set up here, and we start trying to figure out all possibilities here, things that can lead to Mayuri, things that are her death, and what exactly has led to it every single time, and ways for us to kind of be cautious and get around all of that. This is where they start thinking it might be a destined thing for this to happen, but it has to be possible for us to be able to do something else. And then that's when Suzuha finally shows up, and we start gaining a lot of information in these last couple minutes between her. Firstly, we figure out of this creation in which Okabe was the one who kind of made, and it basically tells us the line in which we are in. This change and all of this allows for us to kind of know exactly where we are. We also figure that there's an A and a B world line. There's also talks of getting over the 1% of the divergence line and all this other stuff. A bunch of things that right now it's not clicking. It'll click more when I rewatch it. I apologize once again for things. But I'm not all there on it right now. Basically, she gives us a big explanation of that and things I can't really go into because my memory's kind of prohibiting it here. And essentially, every single one is going to lead to that unless we can get over this 1% barrier. And I don't know exactly how we even go about doing that. So the goal is to kind of figure that out. We figure out the entire way, I guess, of getting from the A to B line here and shifting is to take probably these time machines in which she has. That appears to be the satellite thing or whatever it was that crashed at the beginning that we saw within the first episode, which is her arrival, I would assume, at that point. And this is exactly how she gets over. That's why, even though Okabe is the only one who can kind of remember things or keep these memories when he shifts between the lines using the D-mails, Suzuha is able to remember all this stuff because she actually uses a proper production thing of a time machine here in which that she has. So they're entirely different ways that they kind of work. So she can fully remember because she's transporting her actual self, which is weird. And then Suzuha decides to drop the bombshell on us and let us know that she's John. I actually wonder, I really want to go back and check now in like all the videos that I did early on, if I ever mentioned that I thought that she was John. I don't think I did. If I'm being honest, I think I may have mentioned the possibility that Moyako was, but I don't think I ever mentioned that Suzuha was. but I might be off on that. I don't actually remember, which is interesting. It tracks for sure. The whole, figuring out the dad thing and going to the place that he was and whatever the case might be, having the same last name, whatever the case, right? Like it tracks. that definitely makes a ton of sense. It's really interesting to note that if this is the case, then she's been in contact with us and Okabe in all these different situations through different methods and online forums and whatever else the case might be. It makes me wonder too, is this version of herself like, so she uses the machine, right? So she's from 2036 or whatever she said. So John was introduced in what, like 2000 or something? So is this her going back? Is this like what she looked like and who she was in that 2036 time, and then she sent herself back, and then she, like, how does that all work? Like, if she's sending her physical self back here, she's not going back and then reverting to being like a child or something at the time, right? So like how does all that work? It's not like she's just sending memories and then having this person take on these different roles from whatever times. And then when she came back here, she traveled back specifically at this moment to do and say things. So it makes me wonder, like, regardless, she knows a lot of things. And this is why I really wanted to get her involved. She understands exactly what happens with Kurisu and who she is and her deal within the future, the things that she does. She understands the thing of Okabe, where exactly he goes. Like, she knows all this stuff, so we need to start questioning her and asking her things and getting things out of her. I'm assuming she knows who FB is. I'm assuming she knows what comes of Moeka or what happens in all these situations, to the point that if we start asking her, we can start trying to plan and inch around all these things, which will be really interesting to see. Because it's also not something that I guess is guaranteed that all the characters stay static. That just because we know of possible actions and the things that these people are going to do doesn't mean that they actually are, because we've changed things slightly already. And also, if you act out of the ordinary doesn't mean that they're going to continue down the exact path that they already did, and they may starting to act out of the ordinary, which will make things really complicated and different and very difficult for us, which I'm very excited for, and I kind of hope they go down that route. That's going to be probably all from me. Once again, sorry for days late and then not being on top of things. I feel like the discussion here went kind of poorly, but had to do something, is what it is. Hopefully you guys can provide some things that I should focus on or look forward to and pay attention to going forward, and that'll help me kind of really grasp exactly where I should be. I'll also pick up a lot more and really remember things come watching the video back when I'm doing my editing and stuff like that, so that'll definitely help too when I get to that. But once again, apologies for exactly we wound up and what happened. If you liked it all, though, hit the like and subscribe. If you like to me, feel free to check out the other videos and channel. Let me know comments about this episode of the series. We'll be back for episode 15 soon. You guys have a good one, though. Peace.